Magical beast, dangerous dungeons, aura farmers, flawed decision making, and plenty of lifetime trauma to go around. Kick up your feet, spread your cheeks, and get ready for a satirical observation of Solo Leveling Episode 1. 3 years ago, warships surround an island. A captain watches as explosions ring out across the isolated paradise. He's interrupted by a subordinate who's feeling a little bloodthirsty. He wants some action, and I'm not talking about the typical kind of action sailors get up to, but unfortunately for him, he wasn't paying attention during basic training, or else he would know that their weapons fueled by gunpowder and taxpayers are completely ineffective against the magical beast they're dealing with. This is a job for the hunters. Speaking of hunters, we cut to one who's hauling ass through the forest, and no wonder he's hauling ass because he's got a massive ant hot on his trail. However, our brave hunter has a little trick up his sleeve. He leads the ant to a clearing where his party of D&D cosplayers are waiting for an ambush. But like rearranging a cafeteria, the tables turn, and a dozen ants come out of nowhere and start munching on these clowns like a chip that didn't pass the 5-second rule. The hunters can't do shit to the superior exoskeleton of these creepy crawlies, and the ants have a taste for squishy human flesh. I mean, seriously, these guys are getting torn to bits. Why are they even here? Who authorized this? Yeah, no shit. They should have brought
Raid Shadow Legends. Play for free.
One of the hunters is busy providing an ant with some healthy calories when BAM! The badasses are here, aka the S ranks. The poor ant got hit with a mace out of nowhere and had his snack stolen. Looks like Team Endoskeleton isn't going down without a fight. The guy with the mace, let's call him Healer Bro, whips out a book, casts a little spell, and soaks the injured hunter in his mana juice. In an instant, his wounds are healed. For some reason, the injured hunter acts surprised about this, like he's never seen healing magic before. Bitch, why are you surprised this guy is healing you? There are like 10 S ranks in your entire country and they're all celebrities. How do you not know who this guy is or what he does? Anyway, while Healer Bro is focused on spreading his mana juice, an ant lunges at him for a sneak attack. But Healer Bro knows his battle bro's got his back. Now we got some real hitters on the scene. Let me introduce you to Electric Boy and Muscles. Two S-rank hunters who are here to kick ass and aura farm. They no-dip the red ants and they do it with style. I mean, look at this. Muscles sits a pose while his teammates are literally dying in the background. Who is bro trying to impress right now? Is Sydney Sweeney sitting courtside in the shrubbery? Like, what the fuck, bro? Who got you smirking like that? Your comrades are dying. Oh my gosh. Anyway, it's not over yet though, because a massive white ant appears. Electric Boy takes one look at it and says, "You are not him."
You are not him. You are not him.
The clueless ant doesn't know what he just got himself into. Electric Boy pulls some Wolverine claws out of his ass and... What? How the hell did he get 100 feet in the air? Like Zeus himself, he rains down 300 million volts onto the ant, and with Muscles putting a hole through the ant's chest with its own mandible, they easily finish it off. Dude just landed from a 100-foot drop and bent his knees less than I do when I get out of bed in the morning. Well, I hope Electric Boy is charged up and Muscles took his pre-workout because a bunch of white ants appeared like someone opened the wine box at a family reunion. Muscles is down for a challenge and goes Super Saiyan Werewolf, and these boys are ready to get rowdy. We don't get to see that though, because we cut to a redheaded guy who's single-handedly keeping 19th century French fashion trends alive. This dude looks at the battle Electric Boy and Muscles are in and goes, "Bro, what are you talking about? They definitely did not make that in time. A dozen hunters got torn to ribbons." Anyway, Aura Farmer number 4 here decides to show those other mages how fire magic is done and proceeds to burn a row of red ants to a crisp. Because of this achievement, I am bestowing him the name Fire Boy. He commands the hunters below him to attack the army of ants and the scene ends. It's lore time, baby. 10 years ago, gates started appearing that opened up to another dimension where magical beasts reside. Guns don't work on these monsters. Sorry, America. You need weapons that possess magical energy to take down these naughty deviants. Not only that, but normal humans stand no chance against them. No. The only people who could take these bad boys down are hunters who have awoken their mana. You can't train to unlock your mana. It just happens or it doesn't. The amount of mana you have is in direct correlation to your strength, and depending on the mana level you're blessed with, you will be classed as an S, A, B, C, D, or E rank hunter. But remember, you only awaken mana once, and the amount of mana you have is what you're stuck with for the rest of your life, so be sure to choose your parents wisely. We cut to a gate where a group of hunters are waiting. You can tell they're about to enter another dimension where magical beasts are trying to kill them because of their super stylish puff jackets and tracksuits. This fat guy with mutton chops starts talking about how he quit being a hunter, but now he has to come back because he knocked up his wife. What sort of financially illiterate shit is this? There's no way you had enough money to retire in the first place if having a kid immediately forces you back into the game. Dave Ramsey does not approve. Then, at long last, our hero arrives on the scene. Jinwoo is greeted by everyone. He's quite the popular guy. Mutton Chops asks Stubble if Jinwoo is a big deal, and Stubble laughs and starts to talk shit on our main man. Stubble says Jinwoo is the weakest hunter ever, and if he gets called to a gate, it means it'll be an easy one. Well, that explains why everyone's so happy to see him. Who needs enemies when you have friends like these? Jinwoo is aware of how people see him and accepts his reality for what it is. He knows he's not strong, but he keeps on the grind regardless. Respect. Jinwoo might be popular for all the wrong reasons to the other hunters, but I know one little baddie that likes Jinwoo for the man he is. I'll be calling this girl Bangs. Bangs notices Jinwoo's bandages and is worried about him going into dungeons without a healer because he's always getting injured. But Jinwoo is chasing that bag, and his moves can't be dictated on whether or not there's a healer in his party. And just like that, it's dungeon time, baby, let's go! Mr. Song announces he's going to be leading today's raid. Everyone in the group is a-okay with that and glaze him like a Krispy Kreme donut. This is gonna be a piece of cake, I guarantee it. We cut to an old man who slaps us with some juicy exposition. Chairman Go says dungeon breaks can be a real bitch, but the greedy bastards at the association want to collect the resources the dungeons have to offer. He goes on to say how the hunters make a living selling the resources they collect from the dungeons. Specifically, the hunters collect stones from the defeated beast called Essence Stones, and these rocks are damn valuable. This seems like it would be basic knowledge in this universe, so not sure why he's telling his assistant this like it's a new discovery. Chairman Go is old, you know? Sometimes you just gotta let old people ramble on and get it out of their system. We fade back to the dungeon and would you look at that? Jinwoo already got a rock. Just make sure you don't admire it for too long because you're in the middle of a battlefield. Oh shit! What did I just say? Jinwoo's crappy blade breaks on the goblin's chiseled abs and Jinwoo gets skewered like a freshman at Florida State University. Before the goblin could land another blow, Jinwoo is saved by Mutton Chops. Looks like Fatty hasn't lost a step. Bang starts to use healing magic on Jinwoo. They really are a match made in heaven. We cut back to the chairman for some more completely natural exposition. I wonder how many times this poor guy has had to listen to this old man ramble on about the same shit every day. Just nodding his head and waiting for the clock to hit 5. The chairman explains how companies are looking into using essence stones as a new energy source. Seems like a good idea to me, but it could cause problems if the world switched to these stones as their new power source, and then as mysteriously as the gates arrived they vanished. You're gonna want a good stockpile of those souvenirs. Meanwhile, back at the dungeon, Mr. Song finishes off the last magical beast. Some werewolf looking thing. Thank God these wild and unintelligent beasts have the decency to cover up their private parts. We really lucked out on that one. You may ask me, leveling otaku, where did these beasts acquire such garments? And to that I say,
I don't care about your question.
While Banks is finishing up giving Jinwoo a handy in the background, the other hunters are bitching and moaning about the disappointing amount of loot they found. But luckily for them, background character number 6 just found a hidden tunnel. That's right folks, this ain't no regular dungeon, this is a double dungeon, baby. Why not push your luck a bit? Step on in there. Get some more of that sweet, sweet loot. Pop quiz. Do they A. Follow protocol, leave the dungeon, and report the double dungeon to the association? B. Let those who want to continue carry on while the other ones who don't want to break the rules and risk their lives in an unfamiliar environment stay back? C. Take a vote and force everyone to comply with the majority. Or D. Get emotionally manipulated because someone's wife is pregnant. And the only thing more important to a child than a living father is money. Everyone knows that. Okay, pick your answer. You got it? The correct answer is C and D. Yes, 2 correct answers. Do you feel betrayed? Good.
Distrusting me was the wisest thing you've done since you climbed off your horse.
So yes, due to Stubble using Mutton Chop's unborn baby as emotional blackmail, Mr. Song decides to break protocol and take a vote on who wants to enter the double dungeon and who wants to turn back. Quite dramatically, the vote is tied when Jinwoo is the last one to vote. We know our boy Jinwoo. He votes in favor to get that bag. He may be weak, but he ain't no bitch. I guess he'll just pick up one of the mini goblin weapons that are laying around since his dagger broke. Very smart of you, Jinwoo. Very smart indeed. We cut to a testing facility of sorts where a nicely dressed young man places his hand on a big black ball. According to the big black ball, the young man has a mana level of 75. Wow, so cool. We see a guy in a suit talking on a phone about the hunters he's recruited. Who is he talking to? None other than Fireboy. Fireboy's been on his grind these last 3 years. He's a guild master now and wears a ring on every finger, including his pinky, to let the public know he'd be pimping these hunters. Fireboy clues us in on his based hiring practices. No DEI in this guild, he only wants the best. He shouts out his bottom bitch, Cha Haein, aka Cha hanging these balls on your face. Okay, that was bad. That was a reach. Forgive me. We cut to the lovely Miss Haynes slapping the thick hammer of justice down on some purse snatchers. The stakes couldn't be higher. She snatches back the purse and makes them crash their moped in the most graceful and stylish way possible. This nonchalant badass is an S-rank hunter, but she isn't a fan of the glitz and glamour. When a crowd forms around her, she skedaddles across the rooftops Prince of Persia style. Back in the dungeon, Jin Woo is trying to smooth things over with Bangs. Bangs is pissed his weak ass voted to explore the double dungeon after he just got bodied by a child-sized goblin. And on top of that, he didn't even grab one of the weapons laying around when they defeated Werewolf Guy. But come on, who needs that shit? Nah, Jin Woo, he's taking on this next dungeon unarmed and hard-cocked. Luckily for Jin Woo, Bangs has some deep-seated self-esteem issues and he can do no wrong. Bangs is so down bad, she manipulates Jin Woo to take her out on a date because of his dumbass antics. The group finally comes to a massive door. Mr. Song says, well, we ain't gonna pussy out now, open that bitch up. But before we could see what's behind the door, we cut to a screening of Chairman Go talking to some newly awakened hunters. He tells them shit is never sweet in a dungeon, and you can't be arrogant or careless if you want to survive. Thank you, Chairman, that's some really good advice. I wonder if it could be foreshadowing anything. We cut back to the hunters who must have been playing Candy Crush during Chairman Go's seminar. The arrogant and careless group enter the giant room without a care in the world. The doors swing inward somehow. There were no door handles on the door, so not really sure how that works. Werewolf Man must have put some motion sensors on it. Yeah, I think that explains it. The group walks in and admires the scenery. There's a bunch of statues circling the room and a pentagram drawn in the middle of the floor. Jin Woo takes a gander at one statue in particular that stands out from the rest. It's way bigger than the other statues and is sitting on a throne. There aren't any beasts coming out to attack the hunters, so they just kind of stand there for a bit looking like dweebs. They soon find instructions written on a tablet in the ancient script. Luckily, Mr. Song is able to read it. Good thing he's here because I don't think the internet connection is too good in these dungeons. Mr. Song starts translating and we learn what is written on the tablet are commandments. Commandment 1 is to revere God, Commandment 2 is to praise God, and Commandment 3 is to prove your faith. Bangs, who has the attention span of a goldfish and didn't listen to a word Mr. Song said, tells Jin Woo she saw the large statue's eyes move. Super spooky. Jin Woo says, but suddenly the door shut. They should have kept someone there waving the motion sensor, I guess. Tracksuit Guy is pissed off he was forced into this mess. He decides to bounce, and as he's storming out, he tells the Brokies they can keep his share of the loot. But the moment he touches the door, he does a really good impression of a watermelon from Fruit Ninja. That's right, the statues are the magical beast. Didn't see that one coming, did ya? These monsters are really committed to the bit too. They're like those street performers who paint themselves and stand still. They're probably just pissed this guy was leaving without tipping them. This whole conflict could have been resolved with a few quarters. But unfortunately, these hunters don't appreciate the art of statue street performance like I do. Everyone starts freaking out and they all come to the same conclusion. They're totally fucked. Jin Woo thinks to himself, damn, maybe Bangs was onto something. So he looks back at the big statue commencing an intense staring contest. If I was that statue, it would be so hard not to laugh right now. But the large statue is in character and a much better street performer than I, so it darts his eyes to look directly at Jin Woo, accepting the staring challenge. This triggers a flashback scene of Jin Woo's trials and tribulations. In order to survive, he had to learn how to see openings and spot danger. Because of this, he can tell things are about to get spicy and he shouts for the group to get down. The large statue shoots a laser beam out of its eyes and fries one of the hunters who hasn't been keeping up on his reaction time training. Jin Woo is able to repay the favor to Bangs as he saves her from the laser beam. Bangs is not handling the pressure well and is in the fetal position on the ground. The episode ends with Jin Woo realizing how totally fucked they are. So what did you guys think of episode 1? Did I miss any opportunities to be a smartass? Let me know down in the comments. If you made it this far, you must have enjoyed the video, so do me a favor and subscribe and turn on notifications. That's it. Deuces, my gooses.